You just put the podium to the speaker, right? The shotguns are going to the speaker, right? This one, it'll take do a full live check and then everyone's in there. So we have it on outside.
I don't even know what that means.
You know what, though? No, all right, I know what you're saying.
Okay.
The room is
Yeah, you're right. I have a seat from the desk.
up to the Roger is closer.
Yeah, I don't know if they're awake right now. It's 11:30 on Sunday, but I'll call them.
But they need to.
No, it's good that way.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't even sit there.
Oh, it's a longer shot.
Hey, what's up? I'm calling up. It's Russ in the door. Listen, Kansas City is trying to pick up my feed on the grid, whatever the hell that means. And is there anything you can say to how to do it?
No.
Testing. Yeah.
Okay, great. Can you?
You hear that?
Your bill will go down. Our bill go down.
It's good.
No question. Just smile
Yeah.
and don't say nothing. How do you think about the weather tonight? Wait, we brought it. My hands are big bracelets. I'm like, I'm gonna have to twist it.
You telling me that?
You got me?
Okay. Hang on 1 second.
Where do you see it?
No.
Robin, you okay? You got me?
Yeah, I don't need it. I got that. Good.
All right.
But you put it right to the right of the stair. Yeah. In theory, I like that speaker over there. Oh, the speed. Well, you could just run wires underneath and take it all the way down, nice and tight. Next time. And then people are gonna be looking across it. Yeah. Yeah, I was ready to set up. They usually do like this. This I would do like the speakers over there. Things work right. So it's kind of out of the way. Tight. So it'll be a little higher. Yeah. I think that would be maybe like a long. Reads here. Yes.
All right. We just had one injury there. So Cole Christensen pulled his hamstring. So he'd be the only one to mention. Proud of our guys for battling through the night. There were some changes in momentum there. We were able to get it back and did a nice job of swinging things back the right way. And if I had to pick somebody out there, I'd pick Pacheco out for the nice job that he had tonight, and then for our corners for figuring out what they were doing and shutting them down. So it was good all the way around there. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
Andy, what'd you see from Mahomes' last scramble there?
Yeah, that was a good one. We had something else called, but it was a good job by him. And you can see how competitive he is. And he knew he was off a tick that first half, got back on it, and did a nice job the second half.
I was going to ask you about that. We don't see him struggle that often, but how did you see him respond after the 2 interceptions?
Yeah, it was great. He said something during halftime. He said, we'll figure it out here, and I'll get it right, and he did. So.
What was impressive about Pacheco tonight?
Yeah. Excuse me. How hard he ran. My voice is gone. Might have to call this off.
The last drive takes up 7 minutes and 24 seconds, but it only goes about 40 yards.
Best looking water girl in the league.
Obviously, every team works on 4-minute offenses, but 7 minutes, but only takes up half the field. How impressed with you?
Yeah.
To be able to take up all that time, but not go that far.
Yeah, that was important. That fourth quarter, just we had the ball quite a bit. That's a good defense too. That's one of the better defenses in the National Football League. So they do a great job there. And their quarterback, for a BYU guy, he was on fire. I'm proud of him for that.
They really gave you a battle there that entire game. This game play out any differently than maybe what you were expecting coming into it at all?
I didn't expect the high and the low part of it. We started off like gangbusters and had a lot of yards, and then between turnovers and some penalties, it changed up a little bit. But, that's a loaded question. So I'm always expecting our guys to do good. So.
You mentioned Zach just a moment ago. He was coming off one of his worst games probably last week. How much different was he from what you saw on film or what you might have expected?
Yeah. Well, we know he's a good athlete. He's got a big arm. We know that he's got the talent there. He's a young guy. And it's hard to have patience in New York. I know that. I understand.
How proud are you of the defense? After that safety, they got down, inside the 10, but held a field goal.
Yeah.
They missed the field goal as well.
Yeah, field position we weren't putting them in great field position, but we defensively we kind of had our back to the wall after that first series, and the guys, they bowed up there. Very nice.
Andy, one of the big plays was that hold on MVS that Sauce Gardner had. What'd you see on that one?
Yeah, listen, I thought it was a hole. I've got to go back and look at the tape on it. He was on the other side of the field, but they're aggressive, and so they're going to get a couple of those during the game. And Sauce is as good as there is in the league, but he might have had a little bit of fabric there.
Andy, you kind of touched on just Patrick Mahomes when things aren't working out for him. What clicks in his mind where he's going to find other ways to get it?
Yeah, he's just so competitive. Never gets down on himself that way. He has that, I'll fix it. I got it. We'll fix it. Just keep pounding. So, yeah, he's got that type of mentality.
Was there anything about Isaiah this week, knowing he's coming back home to New Jersey, playing in front of, in New Jersey, probably friends and family? Anything that you saw this week that you knew?
Yeah, he was excited to come back. He was very excited to come back. He's Jersey proud, man. So I haven't gone to Rutgers, grew up here, so on. So, but he had quite a night.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Good.
Thank you. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you. Who else is coming in? We will bring.
Yeah.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Good. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes we used to run out to the house, that box there. Like the Jets, the home presser is getting fed back upstairs. Yeah.
When the guy's up there.
It's hard because. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's good to like. Yeah, so once you strike this down. All right, guys, go ahead.
What did this one mean?
It means a lot to me and the team. Most definitely picking up one another, playing hard for each other. Great team over there.
And what about you coming here for this game?
Oh, it was a great feeling. Never been in the stadium before. I've been in the Philly Stadium. First professional real football game inside the stadium. It was a great feeling. And blessed to see my family here supporting me. And not only that, get a victory.
How many times did you imagine scoring a touchdown here in MetLife, and how did it feel once you got into the end zone?
I didn't really picture it, but focusing and staying patient and just listening and doing my job, it allowed me to get in the end zone and finishing with the guys up front.
It's a really big team win as well. How big is this for you guys moving forward, do you think?
Oh, it's awesome. It shows you how much we play for one another, and not only that, we got a lot of more ball to play and a lot of more time to build with each other.
How hard a grind was this tonight?
Say it again, I'm sorry.
How hard a grind was this tonight?
Oh, it was a lot of hard grind. Every time I got in the huddle, I was telling the O-line, let's strain, let's finish. And, that was the mindset.
You had a lot of extra energy coming in, it seemed like tonight. Did you feel that?
Oh, yeah, I felt good tonight. I ain't gonna lie to you. I felt light on my feet, back to the process rolling.
You told us earlier this week, when you're getting ready to score, your celebration kind of goes through your head. What were you thinking about as you were running to the end zone?
Hey, when I was running there on that one, that was a long one, so I wasn't thinking about nothing. I'm like, sheesh, just let me get in there.
Were you impressed by the defense? Was it better than what you thought?
Absolutely. The defense up front, very hard. They played very solid, and for us, just finishing. That was the mindset of the offensive line, finishing.
So you guys killed the last, I think, 7.5 minutes of the game with the ball. You did the same thing in Jacksonville. Why have you guys been so good in those situations?
It starts in practice. Practicing those situations when we're getting down to it, and listening to Pat on this calls and making sure that we play for one another.
Isaiah, can you describe the push-ups? What was going on?
Oh yeah, I was a little slow getting up there, so I had to get my juice back.
Last one. Isaiah, Patrick said, Andy said that Patrick said something in the locker room at halftime. What did he tell you guys? And what was his mentality kind of coming into the last few minutes of the game?
Way to play for each other, both sides of the ball. And this half, when we go out there, let's just keep building and play for one another, make plays. That's the goal and the mindset we got.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Assess that one, especially individual too.
I mean, it was definitely a fight. We came out hot, obviously struggled. I made two just bad throws where I was trying to lay it over a linebacker and a safety, and I just didn't throw it far enough and hit the dude right in the chest. Stuff that you can't do. But I was proud of how the guys fought. I mean, obviously the defense kept us in it. And then the offense had 2 drives in the fourth quarter where we had sustained drives, and that's a good defense. So I'm proud of that, but obviously a lot to learn from and a lot to correct.
You guys killed the last, I think, 7.5 minutes with the ball, similar to the way the Jacksonville game ended. Why have you guys been so good in those situations?
Yeah, it's just guys responding. Obviously, we didn't play to our level in that kind of that second, third quarter, but guys responded and kept just pushing. And that's good things to see. I mean, a little similar to last year. It's not always going to be pretty for 4 quarters, especially when you're playing a good defense like that. But whenever the opportunity arises, it's about going down there and finishing. And obviously, we didn't do that in the first game, and I'm glad that we've been able to do that in these last few.
Depends on what you do with this, right? Whether it serves you well to have a game like this. But what do you feel like in some way it does? I don't know if it's a reality check, but what is it? What does the game do for you? You think?
Yeah, no, that's a good defense. I mean, I knew it was going to be a fight going against that defense. I thought it was kind of almost out of the norm to start that fast against them. But I think just learning, correcting, trying to learn from our mistakes. Obviously, I have to be better with the football. Can't turn it over and put that pressure on our defense. But they stepped up for me. And so it's football. It's NFL. And not everything's going to be easy. You have to find a way to win different ways. And I've learned that over my career.
Proving you can grind it out is meaningful. I mean, to do that the way the last quarter went.
Yeah, no, proving you can grind it out. I think proving that you can have 2 or 3 quarters where you literally aren't scoring. You're not scoring. Nothing's going well. And how do you guys respond whenever the going gets tough? And I thought the guys responded well. And we were behind the chains a lot, even on those drives, and we were able to fight our way to get those first downs. And so it definitely was a tough battle, but I was glad we found a way to get the win.
What was the message from the coach at halftime?
I think it was just kind of let's just keep playing together, keep fighting. I knew, I mean, I took accountability on it. I knew I'd put us in 2 bad positions at the end of the half and in the early second quarter. And so I think just no one points fingers in that locker room. We all play together. Not everything's going to be pretty, but the guys responded and we came together and found a way to get a win.
Patrick, you said that the guys responded. Andy said when you kind of get in that situation, you like to fix it. You like to fix things. How do you respond when things aren't working out the way that you're?
Yeah, I've just learned you can only control the next play. You can only go out there and do what you need to do for that next play. Nothing in the past matters. And I don't know if it's coming from Texas Tech or how I played growing up. It's just you keep throwing it. You keep putting it out there and let your guys have chances. You can't worry about interceptions that have happened in the past. You have to keep fighting, and that's something that I believe in. And obviously, I try to be more careful with the football. But at the same time, I have to be me. I have to go out there and give guys chances to make plays. That's what I try to do.
Of course, you talk about being you, right? And you pick up everyone when things aren't going right. But who picks you up? Is it the coach or is it another?
I think it's just the whole team. Honestly, I mean, it's everybody. No one ever points fingers on this team. I don't think not just me. I think at everybody. If something goes bad, you pick that guy up and you keep fighting. And that's why I think we've won a lot of football games here. Is that it doesn't always have to be perfect, but we're going to respond and have each other's back. And that's what makes great football teams.
Adam, Patrick, that 25-yard run you had on that last drive, that was obviously a big play, but you were particularly fired up when it was over. Was there something else behind that?
Yeah, I mean, we just needed that. We needed that play in that time. We were trying to get into field goal range. We're trying to do what we can to keep the defense off the field. They've been playing their tail off in that second half. I'm a little upset. I kind of stumbled. I was thinking I could maybe get around the side a little bit. But I mean, it was a big first down, and then we were able to kind of keep it moving down the field. I've told a lot of people. I mean, I'm faster than people think. I don't run pretty, so people think I'm slow, but I move a little bit better than people think.
Patrick, it's the 2 interceptions that you touched on briefly. It's kind of similar plays it looked like. I'm wondering if you could just take us through what you saw.
Yeah, it's just being greedy, man. Just got to throw the ball away. They covered both the plays well, but instead of just throwing the ball away, I try to make perfect throws where I tried the one to Noah. I saw the guy underneath it. I thought I could throw it to the sideline, him or nobody, maybe catch it on the sideline, first down. And obviously didn't throw it good enough, hit the dude right in the chest. And the same with Travis. I mean, we're in that situation where I'm trying to get at least Harrison in field goal range, and they're dropping for depth. And I thought Trav had beat his guy, but the whole player was there. And I thought I could throw it over him, and obviously I couldn't. And so he made a good play on it. And so it's just you just got to know when you can take those chances. And obviously that time at those points in the game, I can't do that. I got to throw the football away and just live to play another play.
All right, we're gonna go these three gentlemen in the back, and we're gonna finish up here.
Patrick, are you satisfied with the way the team's come around here in the first month of the season?
Yeah, I mean it's always good when you find ways to win. I think I've learned in my 6 or 7 years it's you can win pretty, but you have to win ugly too in order to win Super Bowls. And so for me, it's always, even though I hate it that while it's happening, I feel like it makes you better in the end if you win games like this where not everything's going perfect. And so we did that last year, and we're going to try to do that again this year, and then try to keep getting better. And so we're playing our best football at the end of the season.
Patrick, first time playing at MetLife, what was the atmosphere like?
No, it was awesome, honestly. I got to come here for my first year twice, two times in 3 weeks, but obviously didn't get to play in the game. But the atmosphere was awesome. Sunday night, I mean, from the intros all the way to the end of the game, the fans were in it. And my dad played for the Mets, and so I know the fans really support their teams. And so I was glad to be here and get to play in the same state and kind of the same type of fan base that my dad played in.
Follow up on that was like Isaiah Pacheco kind of coming back to New Jersey, just his game, the way he played today in front of the fans that he grew up with.
Yeah, no, he's I call him, he's Jersey's own, man. He went to Rutgers. He played in Jersey. He loves it. Kind of how I am with Texas. He has a lot of pride in it, and so I could see it from the first snap. You could see it in his eyes, like this meant more to him. And he did a great job catching the ball, running the ball. I mean, he put up great. I haven't looked at the stats, but put up great stats and made some big runs when we really needed them.
Last three, Adam. Patrick, you got the 200 TD record tonight. Does that, number one, does that mean anything? And number two, did you keep the ball?
I don't even. What is the record?
200.
Yeah, I mean it means a ton because I guess the people that are on the list, the quarterbacks that have came before me, but I mean you just got to keep going. I mean the game has changed, so I think someone will pass me before too long, and so you just go out there and keep playing. And the one thing that doesn't change is Super Bowl, so I'm gonna try to keep getting those.
Hey, going back to that run, were you surprised that it was just wide open up the middle? It was so wide open, I feel like I could have ran that.
No, the offensive line first off did a good job blocking. That pass rush is, I mean, is one of the top in the NFL, if not the top, and it kind of opened up. But there was a lot of attention, which I mean, while there was a flag, there was a lot of attention on Travis, which is, I mean, important. And so once he kind of went to the right, he took like 3 people with him, and it opened up for me. And so. Like I said, I'm a little faster than people think I am. So maybe one day I'll get a spy. That's my goal. If I can get a spy, then I'll know I've made it.
Patrick, talk to some of your teammates. Talk about going to have some adversity. Talked to Trendy. Talked about Chris Jones and Spags. Talking about brotherhood. After a quarter of the season's already gone, what's the character to make with the team that you see? You talked about adversity and the different type of wins that you have. Give us an idea what the character of this team is going for.
Yeah, I know. I mean, a lot of the guys, even though they're young, we've been together now. We've played in a lot of different style of football games, and we've gotten better from it. And so whenever, like I was saying earlier, I mean, like whenever stuff's going bad, no one's pointing fingers. I just believe the defense is going to get a stop when we need to get a stop, and the defense believes in me that I'm going to find a way to get the offense going and score points. And every time we're walking in and kind of crossing from the defense going off and the offense going off both ways, it's like, hey, we got you, or hey, I got you right here. And I think that's a true brotherhood, is that we believe in each other whenever times are tough. That's why we find ways to win games like this.
Thank you.
Yeah, we didn't spy him for 4 years, and we paid the price heavily.
You have another big game tonight. Give us your thoughts on the team tackles in today's game. What did you see from their offense that may have gave the defense a little trouble tonight?
Well, first, I'd like to give hats off to Zach Wilson, the Jets offense, their OC Hackett. They had a great plan, and for as much criticism as they've taken, I thought Zach came out and made some really, really good throws. I thought he competed, and I thought their entire offense competed. The world champs coming into your house, and the way they competed down 14 or 17 points, hats off to those guys. They really gave us a tough battle tonight. It was a good one.
Drew, what does it do for you to win a game like this, kind of grind it out as opposed to putting it away early?
Yeah, I think to be a world champion, you have to be able to win in a lot of different styles, and every game is going to be different. Last week, we jump out to a big lead against Chicago, and we're able to hold on to that and kind of make them one-dimensional on offense. This week, we jump out to a big lead. Suddenly, their defense bows up, gets a safety. We're on our heels, Pat throws a couple interceptions. They get a couple turnovers, playing good ball on defense, and now we're forced in a tough game, close game there in the fourth quarter. So you just got to learn to win a lot of different ways, and we were able to do that tonight.
You guys recovered that fumble. There was like 7.5 minutes left, and you didn't have to go back on the field. What's that like watching the offense kill that much time?
Well, that's why 15 is the greatest in the world. Is even on a night when he throws 2 or 3 picks, whatever it was, for him to be able to convert on 3rd and 20 with his legs, for him to be able to convert on 3rd and 8 down there to close out the game. It speaks to the toughness of our offensive line. It speaks to the toughness and the grit of the entire offensive personnel, and then the belief this organization has in 1-5 to get the job done. He was able to get it done. Outstanding job by the offense there in the fourth quarter to close the game out.
Drew, was there something that happened, changed, like the turning point after the safety? Was there something that the offense was doing that you saw differently after that?
I just think it's a game of momentum, and I think the Jets were able to capitalize with some momentum there. They get 2 points, they get a turnover, they get a field goal. Now they're feeling it a little bit. Zach makes some incredible throws. They get down there in the goal line. They have some great play calls. Suddenly the game's 12 to 20 or 12 to 17, whatever it is, and it's a close ball game. So I think it's a game of momentum, and they were able to capitalize on the big plays they made tonight.
What did you guys do to kind of come back, obviously, after halftime? Was there something you guys did differently or adjusted?
Well, I think defensively, right, they got us on our heels a little bit there towards the end of the first half. We were able to bow up there in the 2-minute, get the sack there to kind of end things and not let them get points on the board. I think the biggest thing with Spags came in the locker room and says, hey, we still have to play with the confidence and trust in one another that we've had throughout this entire season. And I think you saw that come out there in the second half, and we were able to close the door on them.
Jesse,
Hey, Drew, I don't know if you were around, but Andy said that Pat said something in the locker room to the guys after his 2 interceptions. If you were around, what'd you hear from him? And if not, I guess, what'd you see from him after those 2 interceptions?
You talking about in the locker room after the game?
Or halftime, he said after the 2 interceptions, he just was talking to guys.
I think he just said, I've got your back. And I think everybody believes him when he says that, right? He's the best. He's the best at position. And whenever he has the ball in his hands, we have a belief that he's going to get the job done.
Drew, you talked about Zach a little bit. He had some up and downs, the first couple of games of the season. Did he do anything special today?
Man, he played with good moxie, with good poise. He made some throws into some tight windows. One there on me to the tight end, back shoulder down the seam, incredible throw. I think he threw one on our other linebacker, Leo Chenal, great throw, back shoulder throw, and then he gets the throw to the tight end in the end zone to complete the drive. Was able to get the ball to Garrett Wilson, their best playmaker. And I thought, schematically they did a good job of getting him quick rhythm throws to get him going. But when it came down to it, he had to stand in the pocket a few times and make some tough throws downfield, and he did that. And I think we should all respect him for that. He got gutsy performance against the world champs coming in his house tonight.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.